Today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I make these bookmarks using print and cut images as a whole background. And then I trim them out with my Cricut machine. Come check it out. Okay, the first thing we need to do is make an actual bookmark template like this one. So what I did is I went over to Shapes and chose this rectangle. And what we're going to do is turn this rectangle to a 2x6, and we need to unlock this ratio here so that we can make the size we want. We're going to make it 2x6 and then relock it. So now we have the base. Now we need to make a hole to put a tassel in or a ribbon. So I'm going to choose a circle. Come on. And then we got to make it just a little bit smaller. I'm also going to change the color so I can see the difference between the two. And we're going to go here. Let's make this a little smaller. We'll go here. And then we're going to choose the whole thing. And we're going to align it so that that hole is in the right spot. So we want to center horizontally. But then I'm going to lower it just a little bit. That way it doesn't tear out with a lot of use. We're going to choose the whole thing and slice and move this off. And then we're going to highlight this and delete it because we don't need those pieces anymore. And now you have your bookmark. So we're going to use this as the template now for figuring out where we want our bookmark pattern to go. So I'm going to send this to the back, and now we have this square or rectangle where you can use it as a viewer and move it around to see what part you want in your bookmark. So I'm going to actually make this a hair smaller so I can get more of the pattern in there. Just make it just barely bigger than the bookmark itself. And then choose the bookmark again so that you can get the viewer for it and move it around. I kind of like this here. How about, and I mean, this is all up to you where you want it to go. So we're going to highlight the whole thing and slice again. And now we've made a bookmark. And then you have this leftover template behind here, so we can actually make another one out of this. Oop, here we go. And then you can move it here and make a whole nother one out of it. And you can do this with photos. You can make your own design and bring it into Design Space and create, you know, even your dog or cat photos. You could do all sorts of things with these. So that's how I make the book. Okay, so I've gone ahead and made a bunch of other bookmarks to print out as well. There's a bunch of different designs that I have here. I'm going to go ahead and go to Make. Now we have everything set up on our mat. This is what it's going to look like when it prints. It's going to put 4 to a page. Depending on how big you make these, you could probably make them smaller and actually get more on a page. So I'm going to go ahead and send this to the printer. And we want to make sure we have a bleed. That way it will extend the color further than our actual cut size. And when the Cricut cuts, it will make sure that it cuts within the color and not cut like halfway on the sticker paper that's white. And then we're going to add a system dialog so we can see the actual print queue come up with our choices for printing. So I already have saved here a setting that I use for all my stickers. I've named it Job Preset. It is basically a gloss, ultra gloss paper and high quality for the actual printing part. And then we're going to go ahead and hit print. Okay, so this is how the print turned out from my printer. I used just an inkjet Epson EcoTank printer. It came out really nice. So now what we're going to do is put our laminate on top. I've already got this cut out to fit right inside the black sensor lines. And the excess that I cut off, you can always save. It's a really good trick to keep these. I have a whole pile of these where if you make smaller bookmarks or you just need to make one, then you can always use it to cover up just making one of these at a time. So you don't have to throw these away. Okay, so now I'm gonna make our little tab fold to allow this to roll down easy on top. So I just need to get this. This is always the hardest part. Okay, so I'm just gonna fold this over a little bit and create a little lip. There we go. And then that allows me to line this up without sticking the whole thing down and getting a bunch of bubbles in it. So I'm not attaching with my thumb on the left side the sticker paper until I line it all up. And I can kind of see the edge through the paper as well to make sure it's all covering the sticker. So I push this end down, just the tab. We're going to turn it, and then we're going to put a piece of parchment on here. And I'm going to use a ruler. You grab that tab that was folded out and then slide the whole thing forward while pushing some pressure down on top of the ruler. And just keep moving forward. And voila. So now you could brayer this, just doing it like this if you wanted. But sometimes I can't get it all the way stuck down and I can still see tiny little bubbles that show. So I really like this felt scraper. I feel like I can get much more pressure down. And I'm going to keep that parchment on top just so I don't potentially scratch up the glossy laminate I put down. So we're just going to make sure we get this all scraped and attach all of that sticker paper to the laminate. The darker colors tend to show up more of the little spots that aren't stuck. Okay. Oop. So we got that all attached. So now the next trick is to put a backer. So this is Yupo paper. We're going to attach this to the Yupo paper, and this is what gives it some thickness, some rigidity. But these are really nice papers. They're made out of plastic and they don't totally crease when you fold them in half, so it makes it really nice for a bookmark. Makes them a little stronger. So we're going to get our cutting mat now. And what I like to do is kind of figure out on the mat where this is going to line up on with the sticker paper. So then I kind of look to see where I want to put the Yupo paper. We just want to make sure that we cover the Yupo paper with these lines. So line up the Yupo paper with where your cut lines are going to be. So I just want to make sure it's all underneath the sticker paper itself. So that looks pretty good. And then I'm going to figure out where the sticker paper is there. So I think when we line this up, the Yupo paper is underneath all of the sticker. So now that's my guide. We just make sure that's pushed down. And then again, I'm going to do the same fold over technique with this paper like I did on the laminate. So we'll fold a tab. And we'll flip this over so we have something to grab onto when we roll it out. And we'll line the top and the side. Looks pretty good. And then you can push this down. And that tab is still underneath, folded under, so we have that to grab. So just the top is attached. Okay, and then we'll repeat this process and pull this tab and push down on that ruler and pull out the backing as we go. Okay. And this is, all right. And now we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to make sure this is all attached and really push it down. You could use the brayer too. Okay, now we are ready to put this in the Cricut to cut it. These little extra pieces, by the way, that aren't touching the U-Po are kind of nice because it holds this whole thing in place. Okay, so let me open this. And I've already got it ready to go to cut. I use the same settings to cut this for my stickers, but I just run it twice. And a good rule of thumb, you know it's cut through because the bookmarks actually pop out and make it easy to see that they've cut through. So we'll hit the start button. Okay, so you can see it's cut pretty well, but they're not popping out yet. I could lift this to check it, but I know it's pretty consistent. So we're gonna go ahead and do it one more time and hit the start button. Okay, so I'll show you what I mean when it pops out. See how it just wants to already lift out on its own? So I know that it's cut all the way through and I can eject it. And we'll take a look. So there's the final product and then the white U-Po background. But these bend really nicely and they don't crease. If you went really hard with it, it probably would leave a crease, but who does that with a bookmark, right? So these are ready to pop out. And then what I like to do is finish them off with a tassel, or you could put a ribbon and make it look really nice through those holes. Okay, so I get these tassels from Amazon. I can get a ton of colors. They're relatively inexpensive. I'll leave a link below so you can find these too. But half the fun is finding the color that you like to go with the color that's in your bookmark and matching up something that is nice. Sometimes these lighter colors are nicer with a darker bookmark, but you know, you make it your own and figure out what you like the best. Like this one I'll probably put maybe a purple one with. But I just tie these through the front with the loop and pull it through, and you got yourself a bookmark. So there you have it. Just a fun, easy way to make something nice. You could even sell these at your craft bazaar or a holiday fair or something. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.